Hey everybody, Scott here. I thought we'd give you a quick review on this Gren Pro. It's a 152-in-1 precision screwdriver kit. This thing is so cool, and I've used it probably a dozen times. There's always something around the house, whether it be a piece of electronics that needs a screw, change a battery out or something like that, with little bitty tiny screws. And so this kit comes complete with the screwdriver. The screwdriver has a nice twistable cap on it so that when you put it down on something and you're twisting, it just twists in your hand. And that's nice. You've got a precision set of tweezers that are very, very sharp and tiny on the end. You've also got multiple lifters, so if you're working on a laptop or something that's plastic, a lot of times those battery doors and different types around the edges, you have to get in there and kind of pry. So these little pry bars, they're just absolutely perfect for that, and that's what their intended use is. And then you also have some picks that are easy to slide in. Sometimes you have to get under there and just kind of clip that end and lift it up. So there's 4 of those in there. There's also a dart that you could put on the top of something if you needed to lift it up off of the surface all at once. And so that's a nice feature. But let's get into these screwdrivers. These screwdrivers are amazing. So I've taken a few out just for a few things that I've had to do. One of these things, my wife had this picture brace, and it's got these little tiny screws. I mean, these things are just micro tiny in there, and she needed to have them tightened up. So I tightened them up, but I wanted to show you, see, with that magnet, you can take that little tiny screw. You can just barely see the screw on the end of there. Take that little tiny screw out, and you can put that little tiny screw right back where it belongs and tighten it right back up. And that's a very nice thing to be able to do. You also have a magnetize and demagnetize, so you can put the screw bit down into the demagnetized side, and then it's not going to hang on to the screw quite so well. And so now it should be demagnetized. Yeah, and see, it's not even pulling it out. And so we'll put it back in the magnetized area. Now, come on now. There we go. And it'll pick it right up on the end of it. So that's a nice feature to have. There's a lot of times you don't want to have something that's magnetic down inside of an electronic component, and so that makes it so that you're not trying to bump into a lot of stuff. You can demagnetize it, and that's very nice. So this is now fixed. You can use it again. You can also use it for sunglasses. Sunglasses are one of those things that you just always need a screw for. This particular pair of sunglasses is my granddaughter's, and it was loose. And a lot of times they have a straight screwdriver, but this particular one has a little tiny Phillips. And so I was able to tighten those up and get those nice and tight for her, and she won't have to worry about the arm falling off of her sunglasses anymore. And for me, I needed to replace the cord on this charger, and you know, I'll be darned, they don't have, it's not a regular screw down in there, but it was a Torx bit, and it's a very small Torx bit, but I was able to get right down in there and just unscrew that, and you can just pull those screws right out of there, change the cord, stays right on it, put it right back in. That's great. So all in all, I think this is a fantastic kit. It's got literally everything that you can think of in these micro sizes. There's even some small sockets in here. There's 5 small sockets in here, and that's very nice to have. You know, sometimes in those, actually there's 1, 2, 5, 6 or 7 small sockets. There's also a magnetic, there's just a magnetic pickup here that you can put on the end of the screwdriver if you drop something down in somewhere and you need to pick it up. So that's a nice feature. So we'd like to thank the sponsor for sending this to us. This is a nice thing. This is great to have around the house. It's great if you're working on electronics. It's great if you just anything that needs very small pieces and oddball sizes, small sizes, micro small sizes of the Torx and the Stars and things like that. So we'd like to thank the sponsor for sending it to us, and we're going to give this a thumbs up.